Hey everybody, Erica here with my make and take block for you today. I have 4 projects for you, 3 cards, one 3D, and they all obviously are using celebration items. So I'm going to kind of walk you through all of them. They each need a little bit of explanation. And I think the first one we're going to start with is this one, the Tasty Trucks. I know my customers are going crazy for this Tasty Trucks stamp. And when you sell this set to them, you're going to need to be able to show them and give them the confidence to actually color it in, because it looks simple, but it does take a few minutes to actually get it colored in. So I was going to spend a few minutes talking to you about how I have been using the watercolor pencils. So for this guy, I used Calypso Coral and the gray pencils. So let me pull them out. And when you sell your pencils, you're going to need to sell either an aqua painter or a blender pen to them too, if they don't already have them, because that's the magic of these pencils. They really do make you feel like an artist, and it has big wow factor. So take the time to talk to your customers about it, show them how to use it. I used it in a class this week, and my customers were crazy. They didn't want to leave that table, that station, because they loved doing this so much. So if you haven't used them yet, you're going to put just a nice coat all over the truck with your pencil first. And I'm using Calypso Coral. And I like to do one color at a time. That's just my preference. I think that you could try both ways and see which works for you. Now I'm using an aqua painter, and I want the tip wet, but I do not want to squeeze a bunch of water out, because the more water you squeeze out, the harder it's going to get to control that color, and it's going to start bleeding and running all over the place. So I recommend having a stack of paper towels, a roll of paper towels with you in your class or next to you. And unfortunately, that is one thing I did not pull out. But you know what? If you're wearing black yoga pants, no one will ever see you clean your brush off on your yoga pants. I won't tell anybody that you did it. I mean, not that I would do it or that I'm doing it right now, but it is an option if you don't have paper towels. Okay, I'm going to give that a few minutes to dry. I like to also have my heat tool there, because that will speed along the process. And that last little swish I did looks like it has quite a bit of water on it. All right, so basic gray. I'm going to do the bumper here. Do this thing at the top. I never know what to call that thing. And the hubcaps. And we're going to go back in. Well, my aqua painter is still pretty wet. We do not want to see that puddling of water. If you see puddle of water, it's too much. All right, let's give that some time to dry. Now you could use your old olive pencil, but the paper that I used is Mint Macaron. So I'm actually going to pull out my stamp pad and use some Mint Macaron down here for the grass. I really want the colors to match. And this way you're also showing your customers 2 different ways to color this. You can use your inks, you can use your pencils. And then I'm going to use the Peekaboo Peach. Again, you could have used the pumpkin pie, but I'm really trying to stick with the colors in the paper, so I'm going to use the exact colors. All right, now you could leave it like that, but if you know me, that's not enough color. So I'm going back in for a second run of color, and I want it darker in the middle and lighter as it gets to the top. Because if this was out on a sunny day, that would be the natural shading. The sun source is coming from the top, and so the shiny part would be lighter in color, and that would all be at the top. Also, you might want to go a little bit darker around the windows and around this line here, because those overlapping parts are gonna create a shadow also. All right, so go over it with water. And you could do this several times to really get that intense color. You're gonna build up that color. It just depends on your preference. I like a strong, deep color. So I like to continue to build and build and build and build. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to stop and I'm going to move on, although it's hard for me to move on. All right, color your little hot dogs. And I took my yellow very lightly on that little bun. And then very carefully, because we don't want that all to go crazy because it's such a small little piece, color those in. All right, and you can see I did a little more coloring on around the edges with my pencil, but I'm gonna let you guys do that. One thing that I liked to add, and another upsell opportunity, is to take my Wink of Stella on those parts that are supposed to be silver and add in some shine to those. Make them actually kind of shiny. All right, now on the inside of my card, I did some hot dogs too, so you'll want to color those. But let's move on, since I've already showed you how to color, and let's put this crazy card together. This is a fancy fold, and you've probably seen this before. It's not unusual, but it sure does make the card fun. If you got the make and take kits, you'll see that your card was scored like a regular card, but then this front side is also scored. So you're going to fold it like that. So if you can see from the top. And the measurements are in the PDF. You'll see it down below the video. And this is the Carried Away DSP, the Celebration DSP, which in my opinion is one of the best DSPs we've ever had. I'm going to put this on Peekaboo Peach and add that right like that. And then you're going to take some of your Smoky Slate ribbon and tie it up here. You can tie a bow if you'd like, or if you cut too short of a piece like me, then you can just tie it and pull it and cut two little things. I know my customers like to do that better anyway. It's easier. And there you have that card, okay? Now look at the color difference. This I took a lot more time on coloring, but this is still okay, right? It's fine. Decide what you want to do, how much time you want to spend on it, and just know that you can build those colors up to make them more intense. All right, so another card that I designed, where did it go? This chick, oh, here it is, using the Hey Chick. And this is a fancy fold also, and it's kind of hard to tell, so I wanted to take it apart to show you. You slide this off, and these open up like that. Pretty cool, right? It's like a little lock. All right, so let me show you. The first thing that I did to create that chicken wire look is I got our new hexagon embossing folder, and I'm going to ink very lightly the side that has the raised outline, not the side that has the solid image raised, but the side that has the raised outline, and just really carefully, because we're just going for a light look here and we don't want to get ink everywhere. And don't panic if it's kind of messy, because that's okay. It's chicken wire. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, so there's one. Do it again. Now, if you're worried about your embossing folders, don't be. You guys take it straight to the sink, rinse it, and it's good as new. Okay, I promise. I have done this for years and years and years with my embossing folders. All right, so a little bit messy there, but that's okay. Cardstock has two sides, right? Now, ink all the edges. This is a Stampin' Sponge. Just like to do this around the edges. Now one of these goes on the inside like that. And the other one you're going to cut in half. Let's see if I can remember. It was 5, so we need to cut it in half at 2.5. And I want to ink those edges too. And I'm not going to worry about that little, and you know what, that little part right there, I think that I did that before when I was getting my supplies together. I believe that was because I set the sponge on the paper. I don't think that it was the actual embossing folder. All right, now you'll notice I have stamped the chick on craft. So that's gonna really give us a different look, okay? It's going to not be as crisp of an image as it was on the white paper, but that's okay. It's just a different way to use all of these products. I'm going to use Early Espresso. I'm going to use white, lots of white. I'm going to take my aqua painter and blend those in. And again, you want to do this a couple of times, building up some of that color. The idea is that the chick has a white breast that kind of goes out into this more brown color. And I only colored about 3/4 of it because I'm going to take the color out and it's going to fade to just that craft color. So don't worry, you want it to go from dark to that light. Okay, use your, oops, that's not real red. Use your real red right here. And your pumpkin pie pencil, mine is hiding right here. And you do not need to do any water on those because that's way small, those little, the wattle and the beak. Now you don't want him just floating around in a craft bubble. So put some color down here. I'm just gonna use this gray color, just a couple little scratches of color and just kind of blend them smoothly. That gives him a grounding line. So he's grounded, he's not floating around in a weird bubble. Okay, now, when you come over here, you're going to, and it doesn't matter which one you do. You can do this one on the bottom and this one on the top, but you're going to do them opposite. So let's see. I'm going to use Fast Fuse. I think I might have used Dimensionals also last time. And I want, so Fast Fuse or Dimensionals, either one. And I want to kind of look at it and see where it's going to go and lay him down. And I just put him on the bottom. Now I'm going to put some adhesive up here at the top. Lay that down, make sure it lines up, and there you have it. And you need to stamp your little Hey Chick. Who knows where mine is? Here it is, and some Early Espresso. I just pounded on that thing because I thought it was my basic black. Let's see how this turns out. Hey Chick, there we go. And tie some of your, oh look, I forgot this piece too. This goes down here too. I was so excited about getting him on that card. Let's see if I can slide him under. Ooh, you know what happens when you use Fast Fuse. There we go, we got it. Okay, like that, and some ribbon around the bottom, and there you have your second card. All right, for your next make and take, this is a little treat box that I designed using the Delicate Details lace edgelet there, not an edgelet, lace edge stamp. You're going to need a 6x6 piece of Blushing Bride cardstock, and we're going to want to stamp this so that it's along the bottom and along the bottom edge of the lip of the lid. And the lip of the lid is about 1/2 inch, so we're going to make sure that we stamp this about 1/2 inch down. Okay, so Blushing Bride cardstock. And you want to ink it up. One way to help you get from 1/2 inch down from the edge is to use your grid paper. So line up your edge with one of the inch marks here and then eyeball about 1/2 inch. And if you look, you can kind of see exactly where you're going, and it's going to go straight right there. That's the good thing about these photopolymers, that you can really be exact with your stamping. Now we're going to put one along the bottom edge. And we are only going to see these 4 squares. Right here, 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 and here. These corner squares we're going to cut away. So the fact that those are uneven won't matter in the least. And the fact that we're going to cross over here in a minute won't matter either. All right, so line that up. I'm going to use the 7 inch mark there. And I want to stamp about 1/2 inch down. Like that, and then stamp again on the score line and turn. Let's do it again, about 1/2 inch, and it doesn't have to be exact. I just wanted to make sure that I had it low enough so that you'd be able to see it with the lid on. All right, one more. And if you're really particular about it, then just draw a really light pencil line that you can erase. All right, oh, that one's a little bit crooked. I have a glare on my block from the lights I'm using for the video, so it's a little bit harder. All right, we're gonna cut up those score lines, and it doesn't matter which two sides you do it. Just make sure that you're doing it on two opposite sides. So cut up those score lines to the next score line, and then we're gonna cut corner to corner. And I use that term corner to corner from my kindergarten days when I taught kindergarten. I would say go from the bottom corner to the top corner, but you guys know the official term would be diagonal. So cut that on the diagonal. All right, now we're going to fold all these in, burnish those lines really well. And, all right, so put your adhesive on the inside of each diagonal, or the outside of each diagonal, like that. And then we're going to fold these up just like that, and we're going to push those sides in like that. That's a pretty easy box to make. All right, so there we have it, all nice and stamped. All right, when you make your box lid, you're going to have a scalloped Melon Mambo scallop square. And we want to make the lid just a smidge bigger than the box so it'll slide down easily. So to do this, I use what I call a shim. And this is just like about 5 Post-it notes. And I'm going to stick them right here so that when I score this at 1/2 inch on all 4 sides, this is going to create a square right here in the middle that is literally just a smidge larger than the opening of our box. So I'm going to show you how to assemble it, but just know that when you score it, to put a shim here in your Simply Scored. Now for the lid, I've used the largest scallop square, and I have scored it 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with a box, cutting those little score lines up, and then cutting this at a diagonal all the way around. And because these little triangles are so tiny, I'm going to put the adhesive right here. Let me make sure I put that, yep. I eyeball it, make sure I put it on the right side. All right, now let's fold those in. And the lid is going to be exactly like the box. So, sorry, I keep getting out of the frame there. There we go. Fold those little corners in. They're a little bit persnickety because they're so tiny. All right, and once you have your lid put together, you're going to slide it right there on your box. Just like that. Now I have used my layering circle framelits, and I cut out a pink pirouette. Actually, I'm sorry, this is Blushing Bride again. We made the base from Blushing Bride, so this is Blushing Bride also. And I'm going to put that there. Then I took the circle, the next size down circle, and the heart from the Lift Me Up bundle, and I cut it like this to make a frame. And I'm going to use some dimensionals there also. And put that in the middle. Now I'm using a sentiment that is actually from the Tasty Trucks, because this set did not have any sentiments in it. All right, so we're just going to stamp it in basic black. There, let's see, I'm going to do it towards the side on just kind of a scrap of Melon Mambo. And then use, this is so tiny, just use your scissors to cut a V on either end. And if you struggle with making these V's, you can always cut one center line and then cut from each corner over to the top of that center line, and that'll give you that nice V. All right, I'm going to use my glue dots. I'm going to put one there and one there, and put that right across that heart. And the last thing, you're going to get some of your Very Vanilla ribbon and make a little bow. Now, this box could be for Valentine's Day or it could be for any day. You're the sweetest. It could be a great thank you gift or something for just a little something for a friend or one of your family members. All right, so there is your box project. And the last one is pretty easy. I'm just going to show you how I did the stamping. This is one of my favorite stamps from Celebration called Any Occasion. I have been using the heck out of it, and I love how it looks when you put it on a heart or a circle. So in this case, we're going to use the heart, and we're going to use Watermelon Wonder, Peekaboo Peach, and Night of Navy. All right, so I have die cut my heart, and I like to do the string first. So I'm going to do that in Night of Navy. Let me move up so you guys can see. Just right in the middle like that. And then the hello. And then I'm going to do the same little banner guy in Peekaboo Peach and in Watermelon Wonder. Clean it off. This set has so many great little pieces to make little banners, and I've had so much fun with it. All right, now the little tassel, or the bottom of the ribbon, Peekaboo Peach, and the top of the ribbon in Peekaboo Peach. So you can see how this banner does really nicely with a heart. It also does great with a square and the circle framelits. And then you're just going to layer all your things on here, tie a little bow, use a glue dot with your little mini paper clip, and you're all done. All right, so there are your 4 make and take projects from me. I hope you enjoy them, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.